Cruisin' with Ted presents Avalon Waterways, River Cruising Elevated.
Hello, thanks for joining me today. This is Cruising with Ted with another travel video production. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking to Jeff Verlotta, who's the Business Development Manager for Avalon Waterways. Go ahead, Jeff.
Great, thank you. Hi, everybody. This is Jeff Verlotta, and as Ted said, I'm Business Development Manager in beautiful South Florida. We work very closely with Ted and Cruising with Ted. He is very knowledgeable. I only work with travel advisors. I do not work directly with with you folks. How we work with this is when you're ready for your vacation, you call Ted, Ted calls us, and we put together your amazing Avalon cruise. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Avalon and how we are different than some of the other river cruise companies, what we do a little bit differently, a little bit about where we go, and some really special new things that are happening with Avalon. So fasten your seatbelts and let's go on a cruise. So probably the biggest difference that we have, and there's no question, there's a lot of new river cruise ships out there. It's the fastest growing division of the travel industry. Everybody wants to be out on the river. So we understand, we're okay with that. We're very highly rated. We are in the higher end of the inventory, the companies out there that I'll speak about in a second. We have an all-suite fleet. I think the biggest thing with us is our panoramic suites and where you're staying in. And I'll kind of go into a little bit of the details on how we are different than some of the other river cruise lines. But what I like to do is show you a quick video, and this is Gavin, and you might recognize him from the Outlander series. He's kind of our mascot.
There may be comfort in the usual, but true discovery and remarkable experiences are the rewards for the curious. They are the gifts that reside beyond the ordinary. Welcome aboard Avalon. Smaller ships, bigger experiences, fewer people, more of everything, right at your fingertips. And you wake up in the best staterooms in the business, to a new port every day, right in the heart of great cities, with nothing but possibilities ahead. Driven by out-of-the-box thinking and a relentless pursuit of better, Avalon heard the siren song to elevate cruising, and they have. So if you believe that life is worth living, not looking, memories are worth making, but better stories need better settings, and that we could all use a little different, you're ready for an Avalon cruise. Cruising elevated.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed that and you are ready for an Avalon cruise. Again, we really think it's the easiest way for you to vacation and to really see the rivers of Europe. And we have been around, we are a little bit of our background. We are part of the Globus family of brands. Globus is the leading tour operator in the world. We have 52% of the touring market. We've been around for 97 years as a company. So 20 years ago, we decided to get into the river cruise market. So we started Avalon Waterways. So we kind of use that, the technology and the relationships we have with touring and kind of adapted that into river cruises. So we really do focus on 77 different itineraries. We're in 11 different rivers, 24 different countries, and mostly Europe, and I'll go through that, but also keep in mind we have an Avalon ship in Egypt. We have an Avalon ship that does the Galapagos Islands, and We have another Avalon ship that does the Amazon River. So we can pretty much take it to some really amazing destinations. But I don't know how many people follow Cruise Critic, but that is pretty much the go-to for consumers to kind of give your feedback. And if you go on there, we are always rated the #1 river cruise line on Cruise Critic, and we check that pretty regularly. So if you don't believe me, go on Cruise Critic and take a look, and you'll see the really high, amazing ratings for itineraries, for food, for ships that Avalon Waterways has, and we're very, very proud of that. So again, some of the great things that we have, and I think I really have to emphasize that you sort of have to get out of your mind that it's a cruise. It's actually more resembling a land vacation and in a boutique hotel that kind of moves up and down the river. So, you know, we are different than, you know, the big ocean cruising. We don't have casinos. We don't have spas on board the ship. We don't have lavish Broadway musicals, anything like that. It is a very different way to see Europe. And some of the great things is the ships are really small. I mean, I live in Fort Lauderdale, and I've got all the big ships right down the street from me. So I can see the huge, huge ships that are out there. We are very, very different than that. So our ships average only about 150 passengers, and they do vary depending on the size, but compared to the big cruise ships that are 6,500 passengers on it. So it's a very, very different experience. It's almost a 1-to-1 cruise per ratio per passenger, and our satisfaction rate is extremely high. Our return rate is extremely high with Avalon Cruises. And again, one of the things, and one of the really important factors, and my colleagues talk about this regularly, is we take you to inside the countries, whereas the large cruise ships take you to the country. So it's a little bit of a different experience that we have. So it's a very localized experience, which means that it's where when you're in a port, you get that feeling of a port. The food is from that port, the wines are from that port, the beer is from that port. There's local touring when you're there. So it really gives you an idea of being really immersed in whatever river, whatever city that you're in. So again, it's a very, very different experience than some of the other big cruise lines. So a little bit about our Europe fleet. We have 15 ships that sail in Europe. You can see right now, you can see they're all relatively new. Our newest ship is the Allegria. It came out in 2024, brand new. On it, that ship, it's a little bit smaller because it does Portugal and the Douro River. And if you know anything about that, it's a really winding river. So it has to be a little bit smaller. And then you can see all of our ships we do not cruise year round. Generally after Christmas market for us from like January to March, the ships are all taken out of service and they're updated. We just announced we're doing complete fleet refurberations. Half the fleet was done this year. The other half of the fleet will be done next year, and everything new design, and we're adding some really new things to the ships. But as I had mentioned, probably the biggest difference between us and our competitors are the staterooms, the suites that we have. 80% of the suites the staterooms on the ship are this panoramic suite. So if you book with us, this is probably the space that you're going to be in. Open air balconies on it. And this is kind of a view, and a little bit about river cruising itself. The ships are all the same size. They pretty much have to be. It's not like people can build bigger ships simply because they all have to fit in the locks and they have to fit underneath the bridges where you're at. So what changes is the design of the ship. And as you can see, one of the things that we thought of is we've incorporated the balcony into the stateroom. So in that instance, our staterooms are 30% larger. Our staterooms are 200 square feet. And if you're familiar with cruise ships and even river cruises, you understand 200 square feet is actually pretty big for certainly a river cruise ship. So again, it's a very boutique experience when you're there. We've got a really good video that I'm going to show you. We call it our Morph video that kind of really emphasizes that. So let me kind of play that for you.
The sweet ships of Avalon, designed from the ground up, with an attention to detail river cruising has never seen before. There's nothing quite like river cruising, no matter who you cruise with. But there are some pretty big differences between companies, starting with how they look at staterooms. And our one-of-a-kind Panorama Suite is proof of our innovation, our imagination, and our desire to create a smarter use of space. To give you some perspective of how much better our staterooms are, we're comparing them to the average river cruise cabin. Here's the average window, roughly 7 feet wide, with an opening under 4 feet. Here's our window, nearly 11 feet wide, floor to ceiling, wall to wall. And when it opens, it really opens. Wide enough to let the outside in, because the opening is a full 7 feet, almost twice the size of the others. It's the largest standard window in river cruising. Now let's take a look at the bed of the average cabin. It faces the wall. Not much to look at there. We had a much better idea. What if we angled the wall and turned the bed? That little change gives you the perfect perspective of the amazing views out your window. We then turned our attention to the balcony. Here's the average river cruise balcony. Seems like a nice idea, but as far as we can tell, there's not a lot of room for people to enjoy the views out there. And they had to take space from your stateroom to create that small deck space outside. So here's our better idea. Reclaim that space, push the window out, add a spacious dining and seating area for up to 6 adults. Combine it with the largest sliding glass door in the business, and voila! You have an open-air balcony, the only one of its kind in river cruising. And you can enjoy it day and night, no matter the weather. Plus, you'll enjoy a lot more livable space, a full 200 square feet. We gave our room an attention to detail unmatched in the industry. We offer comfort collection beds, plenty of easily accessible storage. And we even added sound dampening insulation in our walls to make it less likely you'll hear your neighbors or they'll hear you. And we didn't stop with the room. We turned that same attention to detail to the bathroom. We took a look at the bathroom of the average ship, and we knew we could do better. By angling the wall, we opened up more space in the bathroom. Then we took our newfound space and we made it luxurious. We have a large tile shower with glass doors, marble countertops, premium fixtures, L'Occitane bath amenities, and shelves to store all your necessities. And the best part is that there aren't just a couple of these staterooms on our ships, reserved for those who want to pay more. 80% of the staterooms on our suite ships are Panorama Suites. And once you leave your suite, you're likely to find fewer people on our suite ships. Because with our bigger staterooms, there is less capacity for passengers, which means more space everywhere you go. As you can see, more has gone into the amazing Panorama Suites, so you can get so much more out of them. Does your river cruise do this? We invite you to compare, and you'll see there's no comparison.
What I would like to emphasize in that video is, one, as you noticed, that we're the only river cruise line that the beds face the water. And it might not sound like a big deal till you're actually on board it, and it is a big deal. The other thing too is it really emphasized the size of the bathrooms. It's all about the bathrooms nowadays, and they're absolutely beautiful all marble, larger size, acetate products in it. We even have 2 different color towels, so people know his and her towels on it. And again, it's small little details like that that make a difference. So, and again, to kind of highlight some of the things with the ships, great views. Everything is pretty much being redone for all the ships. There's weather permitting, there's a whirlpool out on deck, covered observation lounge, fitness center. I'll show you club lounge, 24-hour coffee inside the club lounge. And we'll talk a little bit more about the dining shortly. But as I mentioned, all the ships will be refurbished. So half were done this year, the other half will be next year. So your lighter colors, everything refreshed on it, more kind of European, modern, contemporary kind of feel to the ships. Really, really cool. And once you're on board, we have what we call our classic and active and discovery, basically excursions or tours. And we include many of the tours, but we also have many that are optional. So prior to when you depart, take a look. Usually every itinerary, when we pull into a port, you can, there's bike riding, there's canoeing, there's kayaking, there's jogging in many instances, but we also will do trips to local wineries. There's painting classes, cooking classes that we do. One of the unique things that we do on river cruises that they don't really do on ocean cruises is we will overnight in many of the ports. So you will really have that experience of spending the night in the port. The big cruise ships, they don't like that. They don't want you doing that. They want you back on board and spending money in the casinos. We let you do that and pick a nice itinerary for that. Again, new things for us, for this year. All of the fitness centers completely redone, all new equipment. We've added more bikes. Everybody likes biking when we get into the ports. More at least 15 bikes, 4 electric bikes on every tour. I love the electric bikes on it. You can reserve them when you come into the ports. So it's really a great way to kind of see the river. So again, our active specific, we have active and discovery cruises that have more, up to 40 different active and discovery activities. And one of the things we found out with this is it's kind of lowered the demographic on it. We're seeing more families and even younger people on the active and discovery. Again, it's jogging, it's kayaking, it's less distance between ports, more sailing dates on it. So if you want to stay busier on your cruise, we can do that for you too. Look at specifically those active and discovery cruises. But just real quickly, I want to talk about the food. Everybody loves the food. It's my favorite subject when I talk about cruising. We have our menus are designed by 2 brothers from Vienna, and they're absolutely amazing. Our food is absolutely spectacular on board. We have the main dining room is the panoramic dining room. We basically have open seating. It's from 7 p.m. to 9:30 for dinner. You can go in at any time. There's no set times for dining between 7 and 9:30. We also have the panoramic bistro, and kind of something cool that we do is, and you can have 2 philosophies on this. You can go to the dining room first, because in the panoramic bistro, they will have like samples of everything that was on the main menu. So you can have 2 strategies here. You can either go there first and try what you like and then order what you want once you go to the panoramic dining room, or you can go to the panoramic dining room, eat there first, and come back for seconds at the panoramic bistro. So you kind of decide. There's also the Sky Grill in the back of the ship. There's 24-hour cappuccino. There's the mineral water fountains in there. There's always cookies and candy and fun snacks in the back there. And one of the things too we still include room service. There's continental room service is included for breakfast, and also full order off the menu for room service for dinner and lunch is available. So if you don't want to go to the dining room, you can actually go and order room service. And the other quick thing too is if you're on an excursion and you're gone for the day, you can make arrangements to have a packed lunch made for you, and it's a huge bag of food that they will make you. So we don't want you to miss a meal, so you can make sure you can eat while you're off the ship. So again, a couple of the other really cool things, we have everybody's favorite words, free Wi-Fi. So we have free Wi-Fi. We just added new Starlink monitors on the ship. So we've now got 2, so it's really enhanced the Skylink service free for you. And people always ask about can we do a drink package? We don't do drink packages because we don't think you need it. We have complimentary for breakfast, sparkling wine, champagne for breakfast. Beer and wine is included for lunch and dinner every day, and we have a complimentary happy hour every day, and it's like craft cocktails. So, and I can tell you from experience it myself, our beer and wine is fantastic. It's all local. If you're pulling into a place in Germany, it's from the local beer and local wine. Every night there's a rosé, a red, and a white available for you, and they're not shot. I'm pouring for you too. So it's a big part of the experience. So we also have some special interest river cruises, beer tasting, culinary, festive is always big. You can go to the Christmas markets, usually starting after Thanksgiving is sort of when that happens. We do right now is the Tulip Time cruises, wine appreciation cruises. So we've got specialty cruises pretty much for everyone. But last but not least, I want to kind of kick this off. This is brand new for us. This has all been in the trades. We're starting this Avalon After Dark, and we see that people want more activities at night, and we saw the demand for that. So we are doing this officially. It's going to start in 2026, though slowly this will be implemented this summer in 2025, and basically chock full of more nighttime activities, more entertainment in the lounges, more live music for you, karaoke nights. Everybody loves karaoke nights, nightly drink specials, night dockings. We will be doing tours at night to some of the bars and restaurants. They will be doing out on deck dining that will be done, under the stars, weather permitting, of course. So there's really going to be a focus on more of the nighttime activities. And again, we think this is going to attract a little bit more of a younger crowd to the experience. So I got one final video here for you with Gavin.
You're telling me that in the future, there's going to be ships on the river that I can get on? And there'll be big rooms with actual beds and big windows that open.
At Avalon, we've changed how people see the world on ships that have totally redefined what river cruising is, with fewer people, more space, and a wide variety of included excursions to choose from.
There's no pillaging, looting, or dragons?
Avalon, this is how you Europe.
This one, the Romantic Rhine, it's basically round trip, either northbound or southbound, from Basel to Amsterdam. And again, when you think of those castles in the sky, the cool thing is you've got France on one side of the river, Germany on the other side of the river. You go through some of the top wine regions in the world, and you go through, it's called the Rhine Gorge, and you see all the amazing castles. This is probably one of our most popular itineraries. This is brand new. This year is round trip Bordeaux for us, and we just kicked this off in March. And obviously you're in one of the top wine regions in the world, being in Bordeaux, and you have that opportunity to visit vineyards and then tie it in with some amazing food and restaurants. And I just want to point out, for those that have more time, there are ways to combine a river cruise with a Globus land vacation. So we have everything, as you can see. This is an 18-day, 5-country that starts in Vienna, ends in basically Basel, where you get on the ship and go from there. So if you want to do a land cruise combination, we can do that. Work with Ted, and he will work with you on that. So that is all of my presentation. I want to thank you all for your attention to this. If you have questions, please call Ted. He is there to help you out and to answer all of your questions, and make sure you are fit into the right river cruise. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks so much, Jeff. I thought that was a really good presentation. We can have more presentations in the future as well, right?
Sure. That's what I'm here for.
We could talk more about the shore excursions. Some unique things to offer there. So everybody, stay tuned for that. And by the way, this cruise line is part of the Globus family of brands, as he mentioned. So it's actually a very large company with a lot of different travel all mixed together. So let's take that up another time. All right, Jeff, I want to thank you so much.
Sure.
Anybody needs help, just give me a call, 954-290-8626. And thank you, Mr. Velada. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching.
Ted thanks you for watching and asks you to subscribe to Cruisin' with Ted on Facebook and YouTube.